Okay, class. So we're now going to look at how to answer these questions. What does the simile, the mountains were like a stairway to heaven, suggest? To do this, I'm just going to go into this white space over here and ask you, what were some of the key words on that quotation? Hands up. What were some words you remember from that quotation? Dev?
Stairway to heaven.
Good. So you've got that phrase, stairway to heaven. Everyone please write down the word stairway, like in the center of your book, so you can draw some words around it. So write down stairway just in the center of like a page or part of a page. What was another word from that phrase? Stairway to
Heaven.
heaven. Very good. Okay. And what was the other words? What was like a stairway to heaven? The mountains. Good. Now what we want to do, my class, is this. We need to think about the difference between connotation and denotation. What were those two words? Connotation and... To understand the difference between connotation and denotation, I want you now somewhere else to write down the word sun, and I want you, where you have the word sun, to draw two circles around it. One circle like this, and the other circle like this. And as you can see, I've got an amazingly round circle. I should have been a tech teacher. Okay. Now, there are two layers to words. The first layer is really the layer of very young people that we call denotation. Write this down. 3, 2, 1. Cha. D. No. Te. Shun. That's like the outer layer of the word, like an onion, the very first layer we come to. Denotation is the dictionary definition of the word or what the word physically means. What is the sun physically? What physically is the sun? Hands up, youngster. Wonderful. So it's gas, it's fire, it's flamed, it's heat, it's a star. So 3, 2, 1, cha. Write down that. Star, heat, gas. And those are just three physical denotations of a word. Okay? So when we say, what does something suggest? We're not that interested in the denotation. Okay? We're not that interested in the denotation. This now is the magic part. This is the most important part of all of English. Okay? Are you ready for this? This inner layer is called connotation. This has got two N's. C-O-N-N-A. Oops, a daisy, made a mistake. So it's connotation. Okay? And connotation is what do we associate? What do we what? Associate. With that word. What can I mean by associate? Like things like emotions or what else? Good, like things we can relate, like symbols, colours, emotions, ideas. So if one connotation of sun might be life. There we go. Let's write down life. Person next to you, 10 seconds. What are some other connotations of sun, some other emotions or ideas? Off you go, 10 seconds. 3, 2, and every hand go up. 5, I've got some good connotations. 3, I've got some, but I'm not certain. 1, sir, I struggled to even get one connotation. Every hand go up. Thank you for the intellectual courage of those with a 1. Okay, keep your hands up, please. Okay, let's just hear some of those with a 3 or a 4. Young sir.
Okay, so connotation.
Yep, say 1.
Life.
Yep, that's all so far. And 1 more. Okay, joy. Would you agree that sun might be associated with joy? That joy might be associated with sun. Good. Hands up. Young miss. Yeah, spot on. Is joy and fun, or are joy and fun, very closely related? Does it matter if you get two words closely related? No, because what is the difference between joy and fun? Which one is more intense, joy or fun? 1 joy, 5 fun. Which one's more intense? My class, look around. Is everyone in total agreement? Hands down. Look at me. In English, if you back up your opinion, can you have a different opinion to somebody else?
Yes.
Absolutely. Let's think of one more connotation. Who's hands up? Who's got one more? Now this is interesting. Do you think a flaming ball of fire might be associated also with anger?
Yes.
Absolutely. But does anger match joy or fun?
No.
Does that matter? Can you get contrasting connotations? Do you think that a lot of English is detecting those contrasting connotations and saying it could mean this or it could mean this? Perfect. Now then, folks, what do you think we're going to do with these 3 words that we have now from this from the quotation? What are we going to do with them? Tell the person next to you 5 seconds. What we're going to do?
Write connotations and
3, 2, and hands up. Any ideas? What are we going to do with this now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hands down. We go for Lewis. Wonderful. Now, which of these are we most interested in? The denotations or the connotations? Therefore, we don't really need to write down the denotations as long as we know it in our head. Do you guys know what a stairway is in your head? Do you guys know what a mountain is in your head? Do you guys know what heaven it might be in your head, or at least what it's meant to be in the Christian faith? Okay, so I want you now to spend some time thinking of as many connotations as possible. What is the minimum number that you would find acceptable? Say again. Good, we said 3 to 5. I say 3 to 5 is probably an acceptable number for this. You could get about 50 for each one. Okay? Any questions? Folks, I'm going to pause this. Folks, listen up. First of all, I think doing it in a slightly different colour for the connotations is a nice idea. It's up to you. One method to find out connotations is the following. This is a strategy that you would use. In order to understand what we feel and associate with, say, mountains, we need to compare it to something else that is like a mountain but not a mountain. What else is like a mountain but isn't a full mountain? Good. Let's say, for example, you were given, you were bequeathed, you were given by your parents a castle on a mountain rather than a castle on a hill. Which one is better? Why? What do you associate with a mountain that you don't associate with a hill? Person next to you, 10 seconds, go. 2, eyes on this table here. What are some emotions or ideas you associate with a mountain?
well, it's your jacket, like build on.
Okay, so one is this idea of something being difficult. Okay, what other emotions with mountains in general? Dev?
Maybe
Icy. So, maybe more inhospitable. Okay, actually, I think. Also, what do you associate with a mountain that you don't associate with a hill?
proud.
Good, maybe pride. Because a mountain is tall, it's gigantic. It is what? It is strong and powerful. Okay, keep going. Yeah, maybe it's also intimidating as well. What are some connotations now for stairway and heaven? Hands up, my class. Okay. Kieran.
It could be like lots of effort to do with process.
Keep
It could be quite like
painful as well. Okay. Do you normally associate stairways with pain and such like? Not necessarily, but as long as you think it's the case, that's fine. Is that? That's very interesting. Yes, often we see the stairway metaphor as going to success. That's a nice idea. We also, is that Zach as well over there?
Yes, I said success.
Good, so long, timely. Over here, please. Can we go for Aidan?
Simple and boring.
That's simple. Now, rather than boring, let's put the word mundane. Folks, let's go into heaven now. Let's go into heaven. Can we start off with, is it Liberty or Ella? Ella. Cloud, bright. Darcy?
Peaceful.
And?
Calm.
And?
Quiet.
Okay, folks, hands down. You can get lots more here, but I want to show you now, how do you turn these connotations into an answer? And quite frankly, this is the most important video, because when it comes to the assessment, you can pretty much do this for most of the year. You find individual words, you think of the connotations, and that's going to give you an idea of the feelings of these words. Check this out, my class. So the question is, what does a simile suggest about the landscape where the book is set? Well, 3, 2, 1, cha! Write this down. I might actually make this a bit bigger for you now. Home size 16. The simile suggests, guys, write this down, please, this first part. Yep, turn over the page or on the other side over there. It's fine. Yep, just use your judgment, I'm happy. The simile suggests what about the mountains? That even though mountains are normally what? Say it louder for me. Good. Are normally tall and daunting. Lovely word there, by the way, daunting. Daunt means to intimidate somebody, and I like how you use that precise vocabulary. The more you read, the more precise your mind understands the world. So this simply suggests that even though the mountains are normally tall and daunting, you could say ancient and intimidating. The landscape here, so like the mountains here are like what? Do we say effort and painful? No, it's just stairway to heaven. So the mountains here are what instead? Which of these words would we choose? They are, Lewis?
You could say they're peaceful, bright.
Yep, the landscape here is beautiful and bright. Full stop. Does that make sense, my class, how to do this? Is that quite clear?
Yes.
I'm now going to pause this video in a few moments. Can you go back to this video later on at home and see how to do this and remind yourself? Absolutely. Okay, so folks, this is the visualthesaurus.com. Very helpful for homework. So you could type a word in and it can give you some other ideas for what you would associate with. If you type in heaven, for example, we can look at, say, Nirvana or Eden, and we can start to look at some ideas or associations with this. Adjectives are better than nouns, so feelings and associations work better in this than, say, a noun like heaven.